I could still return it like this. Yeah.
That's doing that.
Why you do that? Another day, another Dodge on the trailer. This should come as a surprise to no one. Just look at it. It's pretty great. It sounds so sporty.
It sounds like a V6, but it's alive.
It's less.
What?
Or wiggle the key? I don't know. Jaguar. There's too much stuff here.
Almost like houses.
Yeah, all this stuff. It's too much. This feels completely wrong. All of it. Oh no! Gravity happened. You know, this thing's almost just like a Skyline in every way that matters.
It's got steering wheel on the right side.
It's on the incorrect side, yes. It makes roomy noises.
Yeah.
2 doors.
Yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Rare in America.
And then steering wheel does that, so
Yep.
it's a Skyline. It's a race car.
This is pretty much a Skyline.
Might as well be.
Yeah, these little tiny Japanese ski cars aren't the most practical things in the world.
Practical.
All right, I'm sorry for all the mean things I said. It's perfectly practical. Look, it's got a table built in. Also, my ass is wet, but it was worth it.
My child. Go well. Into the darkness. The lightness, the darkness, go into the darkness. Goodbye.
Well, this is where I live now. You know, at this point, it might be easier to count the days I don't have a Dodge truck on the trailer than the days that I do. Out in the best place on earth again. Mopar heaven. With my new treasure. Mm-hmm. Long day. Just made it home with this absolute unit. Let's see if it starts again. Yes, barely. And look at that! The dash lights work. I'll be damned. Even better, the broken dimmer switch fixed itself on the way home. It's back. Big and little. Yep. It belongs here. Didn't even think about it. It's just a little guy. He's doing his best, all right? Oh, that's not enough. Hey! That was one tap of the throttle. And it charges at idle. Incredible. Allow me to introduce you to this wannabe Mopar muscle truck. 1979 Dodge D100. Step side. 79 was the first year for these stack headlights. In fact, one of only 2 years they were available. It's my least favorite. But it's growing on me. It's not that it's not cool, it's just, well, they're not round and it's weird. Of course, those aren't round either, but I don't know, it looks right to me. Yeah, you be the judge. Beauty is in the eye of whoever, or whatever that thing is, people say. This truck is too good for me. 7 years ago, when we started at the repair shop, there was a couple that owed the old business owners like $300. And they had a white Dodge step-side pickup in their yard that they wanted to sell for $300. I said, why don't we just solve each other's problems and you give us that truck? They didn't like that answer, and it actually ended up in the junkyard. It's kind of dumb. I should have just bought it. That truck didn't run and was massively overfilled on oil, but it had a 318 and a 4-speed. And it wasn't too rough, a little bit. Ever since watching that one sail away, I have had regrets. And I've been looking for one of these step sides that was worth owning for some time. Unfortunately, as with all other things classic and made of steel, prices have gone through the roof. And I have seen these things trading for $7,000 to $10,000 for some reason. Shouldn't they be $500? I feel like they should. So if I overpaid for that one, I traded the farm for that one. However, its redeeming qualities are many. For example, those are like new tires on really nice wheels, and behind them, like new brakes. What do you not see here? What do you not see here? What do you not see here? That's right. You're looking at a near pristine example of a Dodge pickup truck from California. Okay, there's one rough spot here, which I'm not even going to pretend that I understand. The windshield gasket is shrunken, thanks to, sun, and so it does leak and the carpet's getting wet. I need to get that resealed or this thing won't be solid for much longer, but more on that later. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's just got excellent patina and flavor. Now, as seems to be common around here, well, there's not much paint left on the roof or the hood, but I accept that. Look at the bumper. Perfect. No, but it's here and it's pretty darn good. It has the correct tailgate chains. The fenders are in pretty good shape. Yeah, sure, there's a couple dings and things, but it's a truck. What do you expect? The steps are nice and solid. This is cool. This is a good bed. It did experience a minor front ender here. That bumper's from a junkyard. The grill's been popped out, and the fender, well, that was fixed with a house beater. Really unfortunate. Just a little hammer and dolly work probably could have brought that right back. Or maybe a suction cup. But I'm guessing they hadn't heard of those. This is a California truck that was equipped with air conditioning, the remains of which you can see over here, and an air pump, the remains of which you can see there. When it left California, it was no longer smog legal, allegedly. It certainly isn't now. All the special California stuff is here, other than the aforementioned pump. The special California emissions sticker is here too. Oh, that little guy? I wouldn't worry about that little guy. Sounds alright. Look, it's even got the actual correct Chrysler throttle adapter on it. Yeah, we never have those. We just use zip ties. There's a little funky electrical stuff, same as the Slant 6 truck, but at least it's labeled. It's got a big humongous transmission cooler because it's got a freshly rebuilt transmission. Maybe the coolest thing of all, though, is in here. Bucket seats and center console. Yeah, that one's a little rough, but don't worry about that. If you know Dodge trucks at all, these seats should look familiar. And if you don't, I'll fill you in. Have you ever heard of the Little Red Express? Yeah, these are the seats you find in those. In fact, other than the modified gauge cluster, and I want to say maybe some little bits of fake wood? Don't remember. This is the same interior you'd find in a Little Red. Fantastic! What you're looking at here is a 318 equipped Little Red Express with no stacks, no side wood, and no decals. And of course, well, it's not bright red, but it's close. I don't know about you, but I think that's awesome. It reminds me of classic Chargers. Everyone wants an RT, but why? They cost like double. Any of them are good. Give me a 318 car any day. Looks just as awesome. Okay, sure. With this one, without the wood and the stacks, you don't get the same effect, but it's darn close. And if a guy was real dedicated, he could probably turn this into that quite easily. I think I know why this truck exists. You couldn't buy a Little Red Express in California, among other states. Apparently some were sneaking out of dealerships anyway, especially in 1979. But that would explain it. But how does it drive? Well, right now, not good. The steam is back. It needs a heater core, I think. Story time. When I went to buy it, I spent a good bit of time talking with the very nice gentleman who owned it and looking the truck over, end to end, top to bottom. looking for rust to see if there was any hiding, and there really doesn't seem to be. It's as good as it looks. It's as good as I thought it was. We negotiated a bit. I handed him more money than I had hoped, but the reality is this is a really solid truck. What I did not do before handing him money was drive it. His driveway was kind of cramped and crazy, and to get the truck out, I had to back it down a dirt hill. The brake pedal went halfway to the floor. The power steering did not work. So that was exciting. When I got it to the bottom, I went ahead and did a big smoky burnout, just to clean out the tires. You gotta test these things, you know? And then when we were loading it on the trailer, what looked like electrical smoke started just billowing out of here, and well, it was about this time, I think, the guy started feeling bad for me. They took me out to lunch, though. That was nice. Hard to beat, really, you know, when it comes to people selling cars on the internet. Really, I mean, this truck is pretty good. Another sticking point in the negotiations was the nearly full tank of fuel, which, as I'm sure you're aware, it's not cheap. All right, I've carefully cropped it out of enough shots. Let's just get it over with. It needs some love in here. They do make kits to redo these bed floors. I'm going to try and solve that problem a different way. Interesting note, these two carriage bolts and washers are the rear mounts for this bed. So no wood means no mounts. The front two mounts are the same as a conventional bed. Well, a wide bed. I guess this is a conventional bed. Whatever. Anyway, the point is there are two steel stands up there, so the front ain't going anywhere. But this is it back here. I mean, that's just... Even when the wood is good, that seems sketchy. But what do I know? I'm no engineer. Why did I shut the hood? This thing needs fluids desperately. That reminds me of one other little thing. This truck was abandoned at a shop. It's actually where the guy I got it from. And while it was there, someone went ahead and liberated some components. These are from a different truck, and they don't fit right. Actually, they're from a Ram Charger, which is kind of cool. There's no stereo, no speakers. The heat controls have been modified, but that's okay. There's a toggle switch. The mirrors were gone. And maybe most inconveniently, the hood release is not here, which is quite inconvenient on a truck that was meant to have one. Yep. Oh yeah, look at this. Blown up, full color wiring diagram. It's even laminated. Sure, he says some of the colors are wrong, but who's gonna complain? This is awesome. I wanna frame this. Oh yeah, California. The original foam vinyl glove box door was destroyed. That one's from like a 73, which is why the lines are wrong, but well, the good news is I don't know where to find any more of those, so I'm stuck with it. Well, did you know brakes work better with brake fluid in them? How about that? Well, this is bike steering fluid in many regards. Did you know that fans move air and everything else in the way? Great. This looks awesome. Now I have to do it to the whole truck. Is today my lucky day or a normal day? Hey! That is much more gooder. The seller was quite upfront in describing the issues this truck has. The main one, number 7 and 8 in the 318 really aren't at the party. They're low on compression, and this thing tends to smoke. So I went into this assuming I needed to put an engine in it immediately. But it's not that bad. It actually runs pretty great. Sure, it smokes a bit. You can see that starting now. But it's livable? I don't know. 3 quarts of Lucas would probably fix it. I bought that truck to do this. The thing everybody keeps asking me about. Show off how to install, and most importantly wire, a Magnum engine. And I'm gonna do that. I think. As soon as I get a minute. And one of these is out of the way. But before I do that, I think we better find out what this tired 318 is all about. And see how this thing drives. Heck, this might not even be worth doing. But I doubt it. Well, this will either go well or not. Let's see which. Oh yeah, it's got an extremely stiff throttle spring. Why are there children with buckets? Maybe it's a holiday I don't know about. Are we trick-or-treating for Easter now? It's not even Easter. Oh, this isn't great. Yeah, the brakes are okay too now. It's a little loose. It's quite loose, actually. Now, my real question, is the power unlimited? Wow. Not bad. Oh, okay. We gotta knock the rust off the brakes. Someone's been doing donuts. It wasn't even me. I don't know if you noticed, but I certainly did. It's pretty quiet in there. It actually has a catalytic converter, which of course was mandated on trucks in '79. It's just strange it's still there. Yeah, it's growing on me. I do like the look. License plates are extra. And a little smoke? That's fine. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a hole in my gum and I think my jaw is rubbing on my tongue. It's a little uncomfortable. This thing needs some love, but it is sweet. Ugh, smells like low tide, but well, I guess there's a reason for that. It's no supercar or anything. But for a tired 318, it ain't bad. Anyone that says these are boat anchors, they don't know what they're talking about. You know, they're only about that far off of a 340. I'm just doing burnouts and gravel drifting, not wearing a seatbelt, and a truck with no license plates that I don't legally own yet. I see nothing wrong. Alright, kickdown's a little soft. When you hard throttle it, it works well. Just cruising down the road, it shifts too fast. That's not good. Not if you want your transmission to live. Have you ever had a leaking heater core? If you have, you know that you can taste it? Yeah, I can taste it. So it's a little loose. It could use some love, some steering work for sure, and there's a brake leak somewhere. I don't really want to know where, but I suppose I'll find out eventually. Other than that, this could literally be a nice daily driver. And the engine, while a little smoky, it's pretty good. It's almost gonna make me feel bad taking it apart. So there's a look at my '79 D100 step side. Cool truck, exciting project. Hopefully I can work on it soon. Yeah. Red, baked paint. Red, baked paint. Red, baked paint. It's almost like I have a type. Now if I could just find one of those. Tune in next time when we rip out an almost, but really not at all, perfectly good 318 and do Magnum stuff. That's what the people want. Thanks for watching. I guess this is just going to be an ongoing thing. Yeah, my new daily driver. Look at it. What's a little smoke among friends? I gave it just a quick, half-hearted little wash and yeah, it made a bit of a difference. Maybe a real buff is next. Don't worry about that roof, that's fine.